Well, good morning. Welcome to Wednesday night recap.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. We've actually seen each other all morning, but
Yes.
anyways, good to see you guys. I know you haven't seen us for a while, and there's a good reason for that. It's not like we were slacking. Because we had, 2 weeks of...
Awards for different ministries, and then storm.
We had a storm. There was a storm brewing,
Yeah.
and we had to cancel that night because of the tornado warnings, not
yes.
watches, warnings. Yeah, we don't cancel for watches, warnings. And then in the midst of all this, our fearless leader, our pastor's on sabbatical. I don't think he has much fear. I don't know, but he's on sabbatical, and just a great time for him to just get away and recharge in a lot of ways. Really beyond a vacation. The sabbatical it's different, but anyways, that's what he's on. So that's everything that's been going on. But we don't want to leave. We want to give the people what they want, right?
We've heard the
What?
the requests. We've heard the pleas for us to get back on camera. So.
The pleas, the outcries, crying out. So we want to give you what you want. But tonight we actually do have something to talk about. We just started a new series, and Pastor Brandon's going to tell us about that.
So it's by Louie Giglio, and it is called Goliath Must Fall. And kind of on the premise that, we see David and Goliath, and the whole Israelite army is scared to death, this 9-foot giant, and who will come out and fight against him. And here the young shepherd boy David comes and offers his services. They tell him go back to tending the sheep, but no, he's given the opportunity, and as we all know, he strikes him down, and he kills him. And what he likens it to in this series is David. We always portray ourselves as we're David going up against the giant, but in reality, it's Christ who is our defender. And it's Christ who has, at the cross, defeated any giant we can face. And over the next couple of weeks, including last night, we're talking about several of those. And last night was fear. Fear must fall.
Yeah.
And you have a verse to read that we kind of talked about a little bit last night.
Yeah, Psalm 3, verse 5 and 6 is the one that Pastor Brandon talked about last night, and they read. It says, I lie down and sleep. I wake again because the Lord sustains me. I will not fear though tens of thousands assail me on every side.
How do you sleep at night?
Well, I would like to say I sleep like a rock. I used to, but I don't sleep as soundly as I used to. But I definitely like my sleep.
Yeah, I do too. And kind of what we were talking about last night was not sleep because you woke up and, whatever, you had to get up and get a drink of water and lay back down. It's when our fears keep us just staring at that ceiling all night long, and we just can't find rest from it.
Yeah.
And it's getting to the point where we take those fears and we say, Lord, I don't know what to do with this, but you do. You've defeated it. And I'm going to give it to you. And as the psalm says, I slept. I put my head down and I went to sleep. Money problems, family problems, job problems, marriage problems.
Children, problems with your
absolutely.
children. Yeah.
They just weigh heavy on us.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to surrender that to God. And something that he's using a lot in this series is that, all of these things, what they end up doing is, obviously, they cloud our lives and we can't clearly see. But we're also robbing ourselves of God's glory being shown in our lives. If we're not letting him be preeminent and we're letting this thing, there was a quote he used last night, that fear is faith in the enemy. And we want our faith, obviously, to be in God.
Can you say that again? Because that's really good.
Fear is faith in the enemy.
Yeah.
And, it's not an easy process. We all deal with things differently. But it's getting God in focus. It's not talking about constantly the problem that we're facing. We don't want to give credence to that problem. We want to give glory to God. And but we find ourselves talking a lot about the problems that we face.
Yeah,
so
that's true. And fear really it's not an exaggeration. It's a giant in people's lives at times. Maybe it's just for like a season or a short period of time, or maybe your whole life it's been this massive, overwhelming, ominous thing that has really controlled decisions and all kinds of things.
And because one of the things he pointed out, and maybe that's you, is you were brought up in a culture of fear in your house. Your parents were scared to death. I remember, you didn't dare go outside down the street, or spend time. You had to be with a buddy system. You had to have somebody with you.
Yeah.
And I know I was like that as a parent. And it's gotten progressively worse.
Sure.
The world has changed, and what I used to do as a kid, riding my bike clear across town, I'd never let my kids do that today. I want to, now we can track them on our phones. We want to know everything, but they know. But yeah, I mean, we can't live our lives that way. We can't live them in fear, and some people live every day with things are going too good.
Yeah.
The bottom's about to fall out, and
true.
that's no healthy way to live. Something else he said last night is fear not, or some form of do not fear in the Bible is found 365 times.
Yep.
And two things to that is that tells me we are fearful, and God knew we would be a fearful people, but it also means he doesn't want us to walk in fear, and we need to overcome it. And again, sometimes it's easier said than done. Somebody who doesn't understand your situation can say, oh, you just move, put your faith in God, and boom, it's just like that. But if you've dealt with something,
It's true.
It's a process, but we want to be on that road to allowing God to deal with it, and we trust in Him, not in the fear.
And another group he pointed out was those that really battle with control, having to control everything.
Yeah.
Are the most fearful people in the room.
It's amazing.
And we don't think of them that way. So no matter who you are, no matter where you've been, if you're younger, in the middle, older, at some point in your life, you've had to face the giant of fear.
Yeah.
And we've just been so grateful for the opportunity. And as great as it is, unless you're there, it's just not the same to be a part of the Wednesday night study.
Yeah.
And but Pastor Brandon, tell us what's up next week.
So next week we'll look at the giant of rejection. That's probably a fear wrapped up in the fear of rejection that many of us face.
Yeah.
And I think with all of these, it's expected, I think, of people to deal with these things. But it's when it cripples us and we are not able to move beyond it, that's where we really need to seek God, put our faith and our hope in Him. But yeah, next week we'll look at rejection.
Rejection. And if you don't come, we'll reject you. Then your fears will be exacerbated, worse. So I'm just kidding. But hey, we appreciate you joining us today. Again, come on out, be a part. There's something for every age group here on Wednesday nights, from nursery all the way to full-blown adults.
Yes.
And we'd love to have you. So God bless you guys. Have a great week. And don't forget, this coming Sunday is our annual church picnic.
Yes.
And don't forget, bring a side, bring a dessert, and we're going to have a great time together.
Absolutely.
So from all of us here at Praise Assembly, we wish you a happy Thursday. God bless you guys.